For DC Comics fans, hopes have been growing that Robin, Batman's legendary partner in crime fighting, might get his own solo movie someday. After all, Warner Brothers is hard at work adapting tons of DC Comics characters for appearances in its shared cinematic universe. If they're gonna give Aquaman his own movie, no character's really out of the question at this point. And Robin's actually one of the most popular and visible DC Comics characters ever. It's tough to go very far without seeing our favorite spandex sidekick on TV, whether it's Teen Titans Go, Young Justice, or in DC's animated movies like Batman vs. Robin and Justice League vs. Teen Titans, or even as one of the featured characters in 2017's Lego Batman movie.
RIP! It's better!
He's even been named the second best sidekick ever, right behind Ed McMahon.
What an exciting idea.
But just don't get too excited. While Robin-related miracles can happen, Batman did eventually let him wear pants. The truth is that DC has probably already killed the chance of a Robin movie, and it didn't even require a crowbar. He's already dead. Perhaps the most direct reason DC isn't going to make a Robin movie is that, well, the character's already been killed. Robin's DC movie-verse death was first hinted at in Batman vs. Superman, and then mentioned outright in Suicide Squad. Now, Batman goes through Robins like tissues, so it's entirely possible that Warner Brothers could pick up from one of the nearly half-dozen other characters who've been the boy or girl wonder, but that inflicts its own set of headaches. Which Robin to choose? While Batman has pretty much always been Bruce Wayne, with only a few brief exceptions, being Robin is basically the equivalent of a superhero internship. There was Dick Grayson, Jason Todd, Tim Drake, Stephanie Brown, and Damian Wayne, who's actually Bruce Wayne's murder-happy son. Each choice would bring a certain amount of baggage and convoluted backstory, and no matter the choice, it'll probably annoy some segments of comic book readers whose favorite Robin wasn't picked. Too much backstory. But let's pretend that Warner Brothers decides that movie Batman does need a movie Robin. The fact that Robin's already been killed before the events of DC's new movies complicates things even further. Is the dead Robin Jason Todd, mirroring his comic book death at the Joker's hands? Was it Dick, the first Robin? Or has he already graduated to solo hero status as Nightwing? What's the best way to introduce a living version of Robin into DC's movies without first delving into the twists and turns of continuity? Bringing in a new Robin would be complicated enough in a Batman movie. Don't hold your breath on a solo outing. Boy, wonder how the fans really feel. Perhaps the most direct and blunt reason that there won't be a Robin movie is that, well, plenty of people may not actually want it after all, and there's proof. When people talk about how Jason Todd was killed by the Joker, that's only half true. In fact, the Joker had some accomplices. 5,343 comic book fans to be exact. In 1988, DC Comics put Jason into mortal jeopardy at the end of an issue, then included a 1-900 number, you know, the kind that costs money to call, to decide his fate. Even though only 72 more fans voted to kill him off than those who called to keep him alive, the fact that there wasn't an overwhelming response for him to live kind of says something about how much fans seem to actually care about Robin in general. And that's not all. Think about the fact that there have been 8 live-action films starring Batman since 1989, and only 2 of them, Batman Forever and Batman and Robin, widely known as the crappiest 2 that fans hate the most, featured the boy wonder. Christopher Nolan's Batman trilogy performed just fine without the added benefit of Robin, and no, shoehorning a Robin reference into the end of Dark Knight Rises doesn't count.
You should use your full name. I like that name. Robin.
Teamwork. Finally, and most importantly, the idea of a Robin solo movie is pretty much impossible when you think about it. Since it's pretty much baked into his character from the start, Robin just works better as part of a team, whether it be in the dynamic duo or in a larger group like the Teen Titans. Sidekicks are usually just reflections of the primary hero. So what would a Robin movie be without Batman? Robin's first solo comic series in the 90s shows Batman sending Tim Drake off to France to learn Kung Fu, because everyone knows the best ninjas come from Paris. Robin's next solo series left him in Gotham City to fight the Joker alone, while Batman took off to Rio de Janeiro. Would a Robin solo movie somehow contrive to get Batman out of the picture in the same way? Just picture it. Hi Commissioner, it's me, Robin. Sorry, Batman's on vacation this week, so he can't solve the horrible serial murderers plaguing the city. But hey, at least we'll get a good tan.
What? Oh, surely you must be jesting.
No, I'm not jesting. Sorry. But I'll totally do the voice if you think that'll help. I am the Knight. I am Batman.
Oh. catastrophic.
At this rate, it'd be surprising if Robin ever shows up in the DC Extended Universe at all, let alone in a starring role in his own superhero flick. Then again, someone thought it was a good idea to make a movie about Superman knockoff Steel, starring a rapping basketball player.
It's hammer time.
So really, anything's possible. Thanks for watching. Click the looper icon to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Plus, check out all this cool stuff we know you'll love too.